Hello everyone, hope you are safe at your place. Today we are going to read a beautiful story, The Last Leaf, written by O. Henry. The last leaf here is the leaf that is painted by an artist. And this last leaf signifies hope, a hope that worked in a life of a young girl who saved the life of a young girl. In this story, we have some main characters. Sue Johnsy. Sue is from Maine and Johnsy is from California. Bearman is an old man who is from Greenwich Village, and there is one more character, a janitor. A janitor is a person who look after the buildings, means the cleaning and all. And on the right side, there is a creeper, ivy creeper, on which there are many leaves now, but till the end this creeper shed its all leaves, and hence the artist draw a leaf which is his masterpiece, and that last leaf become a hope for the little girl, and it saved his life. So let's read in detail. Sue and Johnsy lived at the top of a building with 3 floors. One of these young women came from Maine and the other from California. They had met at a restaurant on 8th Street. There they discovered that they liked the same kind of art, the same kind of food, the same kind of clothes. So they decided to live and work together. That was in the spring. It means the two girls who met at a restaurant, who came from different country, they found that they both have the same interest, means the both are young artists. So they decided to share the flat, and the flat was on the 3rd story of an old house. Towards winter, a cold stranger entered Greenwich Village. No one could see him. He walked around, touching one person here and another there with his icy fingers. He was a bad sickness. Doctors called him pneumonia. On the east side of the city, he hurried, touching many people, but in the narrow street of Greenwich Village, he did not move so quickly. Mr. Pneumonia was not a nice old gentleman. A nice old gentleman would not hurt a weak little woman from California. But Mr. Pneumonia touched Johnsy with his cold fingers. She lay on her bed almost without moving, and she looked through the window at the wall of the house next to hers. One morning the busy doctor spoke to Sue alone in the hall, where Johnsy could not hear. According to this second paragraph, the winter a cold stranger. The author has given the winter a human character, and it is a strong winter that is creating sickness, that is creating bad sickness to one person and to another person. Mr. Pneumonia means the winter, the strong winter, was not a nice old gentleman who touched the little woman, young woman, Johnsy. And she lay on her bed without moving, and she continuously looked out of the window at the wall of the house which is next to her, and Sue called to doctor, and doctor talked to Sue alone where Johnsy could not hear them. Actually, it was a month of November when Johnsy fell ill, and she would lie in her bed without moving, just gazing out of the window, just looking out of the window. So Sue called to doctor because she became very worried. She has a very small chance, he said. She has a chance if she wants to live. If people don't want to live, I can't do much for them. Your little lady has decided that she is not going to get well. Is there something that is troubling her? She always wanted to go to Italy and paint a picture of Bay of Naples, said Sue. Paint? Not paint. Is there anything else she is troubled about? A man, a man, said Sue. Is a man worth? No, doctor, there is not a man. Just one day, the doctor took the Sue aside where Johnsy could not hear them. He asked her, is anything worrying Johnsy? Means anything troubling Johnsy? Then Sue replied, no, doctor, but why do you ask? The doctor said, Johnsy, it seems she has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. And if she does not want to live, then medicine will not help her. It is a weakness, said the doctor. I will do all I know how to do, but when a sick person begins to feel that he is going to die, half my work is useless. Talk to her about new winter clothes. If she were interested in future, her chances would be better. Then doctor suggested Sue that she has to make some efforts and talk her about some future interest. If she wants to live, only then her chances would be better. After the doctor had gone, Sue went into the workroom to cry. Then she walked into Johnsy's room. She carried some of her paintings material and she was singing. Johnsy lay there, very thin and very quiet. Her face was turned toward the window. Sue stopped singing, thinking that Johnsy was asleep. Sue began to work. As she worked, she heard a low sound. Low means she heard a whispering, again and again. She went quickly to the bedside. Jonesy's eyes were open wide. She was looking out of the window and counting back. Counting back means she was counting in the back gear or backward counting. Like first she said 12, she said a little later, means she whispered again 11 and then 10, then 9, then 8 and then 7 and almost together. Sue looked out the window. What was there to count? There was only the side wall of the next house, a short distance away. The wall had no window. An old tree grew against the wall. The cold breath of winter had already touched it, and almost all its leaves had fallen from its dark branches. So here we have seen Sue tried her best to bring the interest in the things of Johnsy, to brought back the interest in the things and in future. But she talked about the clothes and the fashions, but Johnsy did not respond. Johnsy continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting. To take Johnsy's mind off her illness, she whistled while working. Whistled means she started singing while working. But suddenly she heard Johnsy whisper something. She quickly moved to the bedside, means she rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backward. She was looking out of the window and was saying 12. After some time she whispered 11, then 10, then 9, then 8, then 7. Sue anxiously looked out of the window. She was curious to know what is there to count. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite their window, and in the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaf. What is it, dear? asked Sue. 6, said Johnsy in a voice still lower. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago there were almost 100. It hurt my head to count them, but now it is easy. There goes another one. There are only 5 now. 5 what, dear? Tell yours, you. Leaves on the tree. When the last one falls, I must go too. I have known that for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you? Oh, I never heard of such a thing, said Sue. It doesn't have any sense in it. What does an old tree have to do with you, or with your getting well? And you used to love that tree so much. Don't be a little fool. The doctor told me that Your chances of getting well are there. He told me this morning. He said you had very good chances. Try to eat a little now, and then I will go back to work, and then I can sell my picture, and then I can buy something more for you to eat to make you strong. You don't have to buy anything for me, said Jonesy. She still looked out of the window. There goes another. No, I don't want to anything. Now there are four. I want to see the last one fall before night. Then I will go too. Sue asked Jonesy, what is she looking outside? Jonesy replied, कि there are the trees which are falling faster now. 3 days ago they were 100 in number, but now they are only five. Sue replied, it is autumn, and the leaves will fall. Jonesy said, when the last leaf falls, I will also die. I have known this for the last 3 days. Oh, that nonsense, replied Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? The doctor is confident that you will get better. Jonesy did not say anything. Sue went and brought her a bowl of soup, but she said, I don't want to eat anything. I don't want this soup. I am not hungry. Now there are only 4 leaves left, and I want to see the last one to fall down before it gets dark. Then I will sleep forever. Jonesy dear, said Sue, will you promise me to close your eyes and keep them closed? Will you promise not to look out the window until I finish my work? I must have this picture ready tomorrow. I need the light. I can't cover the window. Sue sat near Jonesy. She kissed her and said, you are not going to die. I can't draw the curtain, for I need the light. I want to finish the painting and get some money for us. Please, my dear friend, she begged Jonesy, promise not to look out of the window while I paint. Couldn't you work in the other room? Asked Jonesy coldly. I would rather be here by you, said Sue, and I don't want you to look at those leaves. Tell me as soon as you have finished, said Jonesy. She closed her eyes and lay white and still, because I want to see the last leaf fall. I have done enough waiting. I have done enough thinking. I want to go sailing down, down like one of those leaves. Try to sleep, said Sue. I must call Bearman to come up here. I want to paint a man in this picture and I will make him look like Bearman. I won't be gone a minute. Don't try to move till I come back. All right, said Jonesy, finish your painting soon, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I am tired of waiting. I have to die, so let me go away peacefully like one of those poor, tired leaves. Sue said, try to sleep. I have to paint an old miner. Miner means a picture of an old man. So I will call to Bearman to be my model because I want to draw a man look like Bearman. Old Bearman was a painter who lived on the first floor of their house. He was past 60. He had had no success as a painter. For 40 years he had painted without ever painting a good picture. He had always talked of painting a great picture, a masterpiece, but he had never yet started. He got a little money by letting other painting pictures of him. He drank too much. He still talked of his great masterpiece, and he believed that it was his special duty to do everything possible to help Sue and Jonesy. Now, Bearman is a painter who lived on the ground floor of this old house and who is 60 years old. He his lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece. Masterpiece of an artist can be the realistic picture that looks real. That is known as masterpiece. So he always has a dream to draw a masterpiece, and he is very helpful towards Sue and Jonesy. So Sue found him in his dark room and she knew that he had been drinking. She could smell it. She told him about Jonesy and the leaves of the vine. She said that she was afraid that Jonesy would indeed sail down like the leaf. Her hold on the world was growing weaker. Sue poured her out her worries to Bearman. She told him how Jonesy was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fell. Old Bearman shouted his anger over such an idea. What? He cried. Are there such fools? Do people die because leaves drop off a tree? I have not heard of such a thing. No, I will not come up and sit while you make a picture of me. Why do you allow her to think such a thing? That poor little Jonesy. She is very sick and weak, said Sue. The sickness has put these strange ideas into her mind, Mr. Bearman. If you won't come, you won't. But I don't think you are very nice. Bearman shouted in anger. He said, is she stupid? How can she be so foolish? She is running a high temperature. Complained Sue. Sue said she is running high temperature. She refuses to eat or drink, and that worries me a lot. I will come with you and see Jonesy, Bearman said. This is like a woman, shouted Bearman. Who said I will not come? Go, I will come with you. For half an hour I have been trying to say that I will come. God, this is not any place for someone as good as Jonesy's to lie sick. Some day I shall paint my masterpiece, and we shall all go away from here. God, yes. Jonesy was sleeping when they went up. Sue covered the window and took Bearman into the other room. They looked out of the window fearfully at the tree. Then they looked at each other for a moment without speaking. A cold rain was falling, with a little snow in it too. Bearman sat down and Sue began to paint. Sue worked through most of the night. In the morning, after an hour's of sleep, she went to Jonesy's bedside. Jonesy, with wide open eyes, was looking toward the window. I want to see, she told Sue. Sue took the cover from the window, but after the beating rain and the wild wind that had not stopped through the whole night, there still was no leaf to be seen against the wall. It was the last on the tree. It was still dark green near the branch, but at the edges it was turning yellow with age. There it was hanging from a branch nearly 20 feet above the ground. When Bearman came to their home, their apartment, they tiptoed to another room. Sue drew the curtains together and they went to the next room. They peeped out through the window. There was only one leaf on the creeper, and it was raining heavily and icy cold wind was blowing, though it seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute now. So Bearman did not say anything and he left the room and went back to his room. The next morning, Jonesy asked Sue that she wanted to see that last leaf. So Sue took the curtain off and she was fearfully, she hasn't hesitantly opened the curtain. Why was she hesitant? Because she knew that last night very wild wind has brought the storm, and because of that it is not possible that any leaf could be left on the branch of that. It is the last one, said Jonesy. I thought it would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind. It will fall today, and I shall die at the same time. Dear, dear Jonesy, said Sue, think of me. If you won't think of yourself, what would I do? But Jonesy did not answer. The loneliest thing in the world is a soul when it is preparing to go on its far journey. The ties that held her to friendship and to earth were breaking one by one. The day slowly passed. As it grew dark, they could still see the leaf hanging from its branch against the wall. And then, as the night came, the north wind began again to blow. The rain still beat against the window, and when It was light enough the next morning. Jonesy again commanded that she be allowed to see. The leaf was still there. Jonesy lay for a long time looking at it, and then she called to Sue, who was cooking something for her to eat. Oh, Sue exclaimed as she looked at the vine creeper. Look, there is still one leaf on the creeper. It looks quite green and healthy. In spite of storm and fire's cold wind, it did not fall. But I heard the wind last night, said Jonesy. I thought it would have fallen. It will surely fall today. Then I will die. You won't die, Sue energetically said. You have to live for your friend. What would happen to me if you die? Jonesy smiled weakly and closed her eyes. After every hour or so, she would look out of the window and find the leaf still there. It seemed to be clinging to the creeper. And in the evening, there was another storm. But the leaf did not fall. Jonesy lay for a long time looking at the leaf. Then she called out to Sue, who was preparing something for her to eat. I have been a bad girl, Sue, said Jonesy. Something has made that last leaf stay there to show me how bad I was. It is wrong to want to die. I will try to eat now, but first bring me a looking glass so that I can see myself. And then I will sit up and watch you cook. An hour later, she said, Sue, someday I hope to paint the Bay of Naples. That last leaf had given hope to Jonesy, and she realized that she had been a bad girl. She said, you have looked after me so lovingly, and I had not cooperated with you. I have been depressed and gloomy. The last leaf has shown me how weak I have been. I have realized that it is a sin to want to die. Sue hugged Jonesy. Then she gave her loads of hot soap and a mirror. Jonesy combed her hair and smiled brightly. The doctor came in the afternoon. Sue followed him into the hall outside Jonesy's room to talk to him. The chances are good, said the doctor. He took Sue's thin, shaking hand in his. Give her good care and she will get well. And now I must see another sick person in their house. In this house, his name is Bearman, a painter. I believe pneumonia too. He is an old weak man and he is very ill. There is no hope for him, but we take him to the hospital today. We will make it easy for him as we can. In the afternoon, the doctor came and after examining his patient, he told Sue, Jonesy now has the will to live. She has decided to leave now, and I'm confident, I'm very sure that she will recover soon. But now I must go downstairs. There is another patient who is suffering from pneumonia, but I am afraid there is no hope for him. His name is Bearman. And the next day, the doctor said to Sue, she is safe. You have done it. Food and care now. This is all. And that afternoon, Sue came to the bed where Jonesy lay. She put one arm around her. I have something to tell you, she said. Mr. Bearman died of pneumonia today in the hospital. He was ill only 2 days ago. Someone found him in the morning of the first day in his room. He was helpless with pain. His shoes and his clothes were wet, as cold as ice. Everyone wondered where he had been. The night had been so cold and wild. The next morning, Sue came and sat on Jonesy's bed, taking Jonesy's hand in hers. She said, I have something to tell you. Mr. Bearman died of pneumonia this morning. He was ill only for 2 days. The first day, the janitor means a person who look after the building. It's his job. The first day, janitor found him on his bed. He was really helpless and his clothes and shoes were wet and he was shivering. He had been out in that stormy night. And then they found some things. There was a light that he had kept taken outside, and there were his materials for painting. There was paint, green paint, and yellow paint, and look out of the window, dear. At the last leaf on the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never moved when the wind was blowing? Oh, my dear, it is Perman's great masterpiece. He painted it that night that the last leaf fell. Then they found a ladder, a lantern still lighted, lying near his bed. There were also some brushes and green and yellow paints on the floor near the ladder. Jonesy dear, said Sue, look out of the window. Look at that ivy leaf. Haven't you wanted to know why it does not flutter, why it does not fall down when the wind blows? Jonesy, that is Perman's masterpiece. He painted it that night when the last leaf fell. So that leaf was the masterpiece of Bearman that looked so realistic to Jonesy that has in bring back her hope to live. So this story conveyed the message that the last leaf is of selflessness and sacrifice. The selflessness of both Sue and Bearman in saving Jonesy. It is the essence of the story. The sacrifice that Bearman makes of his life for Jonesy is an emotional factor that lends the strength to the story and its character. So at last, with this leaf, Jonesy get the hope and she decided to live. But Bearman lost his life. His sacrifice gave life to the young girl. So this was the story. Thank you.